Welcome to Sales, Tax, and More, your go-to resource for all things state tax related. Now, here is your host, Michael Fleming.
Hi, I'm Mike Fleming, the president of Sales, Tax, and More, and today's co-host of the Sales, Tax, and More podcast. We've got Ellie Moffitt joining us today. She's going to be a regular going forward. She's going to be a co-host of this podcast as well as our marketing manager. So, Ellie, you want to jump on?
Yeah, Mike, I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited to co-host this podcast. We have a lot of great things in store for everyone. So on this podcast, we talk about everyone's favorite topic, sales tax. And at Sales, Tax, and More, we do a lot of registrations, returns, research, and like our name states, more. So if you have questions about our services, if you want to get in touch with us, please visit our website at salestaxandmore.com and reach out to us and we'll get back to you. So Mike, like I said, I'm super excited to be here today. We are going to talk about how we can help accountants help their clients. So let's just jump right in here. So Mike, you have a lot of experience working with CPAs, and we've been talking to a lot of them, and a large number of them seem to be saying that they either have no knowledge or limited knowledge of sales tax. So we know that clients have potential exposure. How do we respond to those CPAs who are talking to this and wanting to know how they can help their clients?
Yeah, and this is a great question, Ellie. I'm hearing the same things when I'm speaking to our clients and potential clients out there and our accounting partners. So I usually answer with a question. And that question is, how much do you want to learn about sales tax? I mean, there are some accountants out there who have so much on their plates, they don't really want to start offering sales tax services. So if you want to start offering sales tax services, we're going to go in a different direction. But if you just want to make sure that your clients are taken care of, that they're not talking to someone else, because once they start talking to someone else about sales tax, they may start talking about other areas of the business that you don't want to give up. So you want to have a good, solid partner out there that doesn't compete with you, that knows what they're talking about. And in this type of relationship, I look at it as, a family care physician. Like the accounting professional, family care physicians are usually trusted advisors, but they don't have to know anything. Excuse me. They do have to know some things. They don't have to know everything. They just have to know where there potentially may be an issue. So they perform their tests or everything else. And if they think there's a problem, then they're going to refer you out to a specialist. And in this case, someone like Sales Tax and More is the specialist. So to start out with, you're going to want to know buzzwords. You're going to want to know certain, issues that may be problems for your clients. And we've got a lot of free webinars out there where we go into these types of issues where you don't have to be an expert. You just pick up the buzzwords and what you need to be looking for, and if these things are apparent. For example, if you have a client who's selling into multiple states, now that Wayfair is reality, anyone who's selling into multiple states has potential problems. So you've got to ask them what they're doing to protect themselves with all these new laws out there. And if they say nothing, then you say, well, I want you to talk to these guys over here. So again, it's just more of a referral type process. And that's if you don't want to learn a whole lot more about sales tax. Watch a couple of webinars, get the concepts down, and we'll work with you in helping you to protect your clients, which in turn protects you.
Mike, this is really great advice, especially for those accountants, those accounting professionals whose plate they often have full plates, right? They need to turn to the expertise of other people around them. But what about those accountants who they want to start learning for themselves? They want to find the resources out there. What can they do?
Yeah, and this is a great time to be in sales tax. And again, there are quite a number of services out there that accountants can offer. Where, yeah, when I say accountants, CPAs, other accounting professionals, bookkeepers, there are services that can be offered by anyone in the accounting field without having real deep knowledge. I mean, you can learn as you're going along and start offering more complicated services. But to start out, Nexus is fairly simple, and we offer a lot of tools. We have a premium portion of our website. We offer a lot of tools that can be used in Nexus reviews. As part of that website, we offer workshops. So we've got a 2-hour workshop coming up at the end of February that says, that teaches you or anyone who wants to learn how to do a Nexus review or a Nexus study for either your self or for your clients. And we'll teach it from an economic basis. We'll teach it from a physical presence basis. We'll cover all the hot points in there and provide you with the Nexus questionnaires and the spreadsheet formats that we use in our own practice. When we're offering this, we'll talk about pricing and what the range is. So we're not the only one out there offering services like this, but we think that we've got one of the best comprehensive offerings. And you got to dip your toe in the water. I mean, so generally we say it all starts with Nexus, because if your clients don't have Nexus, then they don't have a responsibility to do anything. But if they do have Nexus, then they may have a responsibility to collect and remit tax. We'll cover not only sales tax Nexus, how to do a review or a study for that, but we'll also talk about income tax Nexus. And, every month we're going to have a new 2-hour workshop. And by these workshops provide for 2 CPEs. So you can, get your CPE credit while you're learning new skills. So, and again, there's lots of other people offering courses out there to teach CPAs or others on how to do this. We just think we're the best at it.
We do think we're the best. And to add a little bit to that plug there, the feedback we've received on the premium portion of our website is phenomenal. People say that we're becoming their go-to online resource for the information that they need. And Mike, you covered a lot of things here about what people can do to utilize and implement their education when it comes to sales tax. Is there anything else that you would add here? Is there anything else coming up? I know, again, you covered a little bit of it, but what else can they do?
Continue listening to this podcast, because we've got some great interviews coming up. So people who offer different types of sales tax technology, and we're going to be talking about that on this podcast. We're going to be talking about things that may not be directly aligned with sales tax, but are important to your clients who are selling into multiple states or into multiple countries. So on this podcast alone, we're going to be bringing you a lot of information. And then once you start getting used to it, there's lots of webinars out there. As I mentioned, Ellie, how many free webinars do we do right now that provide for CPE credit?
We do between 8 and 10, and those are all rotating. So a lot of people have come to the webinar. We always have phenomenal feedback. And Mike, we love working with CPAs and accounting professionals. You guys are a great group, and we love being in contact with you.
Absolutely. So, we've got these free webinars, and then we've got this series of workshops coming out. We've got these podcasts where we're going to be inviting in experts from all different fields to talk about topics that we think are going to be important to you. And there are a lot of other people out there who are offering free webinars. So if this is something you really want to start offering services on, learn from as many people as you possibly can. We all may say something a little bit differently, and it may stick there. We'll eventually be coming out with some of these workshops that talk about exemption certificates and how to offer validation services, which is something that, a lot of people are a little bit afraid of, reviewing exemption certificates or resale certificates. But we'll teach you how to do it. We'll give you the tools that you can rely on to see if something is actually acceptable in the state where the delivery is being made and where your client has a responsibility to collect those certificates. And by the way, this is for any accounting professionals in industry as well as in public practice. So lots and lots of tools out there. As we talk to some of these technology companies, they're going to share with you a number of the tools that they have available. And I'm just excited about what we've got coming up in future weeks here.
I am too, Mike. And I appreciate everyone for listening in here. It's been really fun to be part of this podcast. I'm very excited to continue to be a part of it moving forward. And Mike, do you have anything else you want to say finishing up?
No, we currently work with a lot of CPAs out there in a number of different ways. Sometimes we're behind the scenes and clients don't know about us. Sometimes we're standing side by side and we're the subject matter experts. And sometimes, we're just a great referral partner because you either don't want to become involved in offering sales tax services, or something may have too much hair on it and you'd rather just let someone else handle all of the exposure. So we hope that we can help you out, and whether you decide to work with us or not, we can help you get started on this journey of knowledge gathering in order to provide your own services. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to click subscribe and check out all of the resources we have out on the web.